Continuing to follow the breaking news in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Pacers star Tyrese Haliburton left the game with an apparent right leg injury. He was in immediate pain on the floor, helped off the court, not putting any weight on his right leg. He suffered a calf injury in Game 5 of the series. It was a game-time decision in Game 6. He played that game, 14 points, 5 assists. He started Game 7. He scored 9 of the Pacers' first 16 points, hit 3 three-pointers, and he has been ruled out for the rest of Game 7. Back here in studio, Roy Hibbert, Chris Walker. Roy, you saw the injury happen. What was your initial thought, your initial reaction when you saw it?
Well, I think prior to the injury, I was a little bit more, I think, flippant in terms of like just rejecting the fact that he could be hurt, since I didn't see like a big injury happen. But besides that, obviously I'm hurting for this young man and the team. You know, you put everything into this, and obviously you don't expect to get injured. You go out there expecting the best. You're going to help your team, and obviously this is a gut punch. But I've said all series, it's all about the next man up. Man, this is as much as I want the Pacers to win, I feel gutted that he is not able to be on the court. And I know the training staff there, Josh Corbeil and Carl Eaton, they'll do a good job of assessing him. The doctors there are really good, and hopefully this won't hurt the rest of his career besides this game tonight.
It's a long season. You know, he also played in the Olympics.
Yep.
You know, Tatum played in the Olympics. You know, that's something that can be reevaluated another time. But it's just so, and then you make it to the end of the year. I always say the playoffs is almost another season. And so obviously, you know, he fought, he played through injury. He got off to an unbelievable start where people were like, yo, is this guy going to be a guy that shows up in the right moment? He did that to start this game, and it's just unfortunate that he went down, and hopefully it's not what we fear to be the worst, but it almost looked like it happened in that moment for sure.
Yeah, they're fearing a torn Achilles, so that's the terminology right now that we are using. It has not been declared that severe until we get that word. That is what we have been told. Roy, you saw Pascal Siakam huddle his team around.
Yeah.
Say, hey, guys, look, we know how important Tyrese is to our team. In that moment right there, what did that show you as they're trying to figure out a way to win this game without their star?
I mean, the eye is still on the prize.
Yep.
You know, right now it's tied 40-40 with 3:40 left to go in the second quarter. So they're putting up a fight. They're not backing down. They want to get this for Tyrese Haliburton. Pascal Siakam, he's been there. He's done that. He's done it with Toronto, where he's the second leading scorer. So hopefully people could step up. Hopefully guys like Miles Turner can like hit some threes, maybe get some things going. You know, TJ McConnell, he needs to get going a little bit, but we'll talk about that, how I felt that OKC is able to neutralize him at halftime. But it's a gut punch. It's a gut punch.
Well, it's just up to Mathurin. We've been talking about, you know, Miles Turner. Like, someone else has to show up. I always say this, guys. They all get paid to play this game. You know, I like Tyrese Haliburton. I think he's a good player. But there are other guys that can serve. Now, it would be a Herculean task for them to win this game. But, you know, hey, anything is possible in sports if the right guys. I'm looking at Mathurin. He's tentative. Miles Turner's still tentative offensively.
They're
going to need, and Toppin just shaky getting rebounds. And Case and Wallace just stripping them from him. They're going to need some other guys to play outside of their comfort zone in order for them to win this game.
We saw Tyrese Haliburton go down in Game 5 on the road, right, in Oklahoma City. Here he is, Game 7, going down in Oklahoma City. And you talk about how we talked about this was a warning. This kind of injury was a warning for the past. We saw Kevin Durant, who coincidentally was traded today to the Houston Rockets. 2019 Finals, he had a calf injury. It led to the torn Achilles. The Raptors went on to win that NBA title with Pascal Siakam on it. Kawhi Leonard was Finals MVP. When you look at that, Roy, in that 2019 Finals, and that is like a sign to say, hey, you need to be really careful about an injury like this because this could happen.
Yeah, to me, it goes back to a question that a lot of people were having a couple of years ago, the amount of games these guys are playing. And everybody talks about, all right, well, guys only play like 20 games sometimes. They sit, they rest. Why not condense the season? That's when you can like obviously have more days in between, have more treatment, and then at the same time maybe lower the risk of like back-to-backs and then getting injured. But obviously the things players don't like is playing less games, meaning you get less paychecks,
less money,
less paychecks. Right. So that's the thing right there. And if this is happening over and over, like you said, Tatum and these guys are getting injured like this, maybe this is something that the Players Association and the NBA should talk about at some point in time, because nobody wants to see stars going down in a Game 7 when the season is on the line like this.
Listen, I don't want to say that guys are softer or today than the players of yesteryear, but I just think the athletes are different, right? More high-level athletes. It's kind of like having that old Ford truck, and then you got a Ferrari. Right? You don't drive the Ferrari every day. And so my thing is, I just think it's a different way of looking at it. Obviously, you know, the league has to think about how can these guys be compensated, right? The way they are now with the compensation structure with shortening the season. You know, LeBron mentioned shortening the season, everyone goes crazy. Yeah. But at the end of the day, only you know, Roy, that's at this table as a former player, 82 games, a lot of games. Then you go into the playoffs. The playoffs were not as long back in the day as they are now.
Yeah, we have 7-round series.
Yeah, like it is really difficult. I always say the reason why LeBron has played so many games more than anybody, it's not the regular season, it's the playoffs. He went to the finals 8 straight times, so he's playing almost you know, another career that other guys haven't played because the playoffs are so long. So it's taxing. 2 stars went down this year. Yep. You know, 2 guys on the Olympic team. That's something to think about. Then that calf strain, and you got to really think about it. When you're diagnosed with that, you really got to take some thought, given what's happened to Tatum and Halliburton.
Yeah, and Damian Lillard as well.
Yep,
also suffered an Achilles injury. So again, the word is that there's fear that it's an Achilles injury. It has not been officially diagnosed as such. Tyrese Haliburton will not return to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We talked about, you know, potentially lowering the games played amount. You guys know that players have to play 65 games to be eligible for awards like MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. So a lot of these guys are going into that now where they changed the rules. I got to go out there and play. I got to play in front of the fans that come and pay hundreds and thousands of dollars sometimes to watch us play, and I get that. When you look at this, Roy, do you think that the strain, the right calf strain, and he'd been dealing with a right lower leg injury for most of the playoffs, how much do you think that impacted tonight's game and how he moved?
I mean, the way how he plays on his feet, pitter-pattering. He's not like he's gunning into the hole and, like, trying to, like, score amongst the trees and the bodies. His whole game plan is fast twitch muscles, getting up and down, cut, stopping on a dime, being able to jump off a 1-foot turn, spin, and then get a creative pass. Even though I hate that, I don't like passing in the air. I like to jump stop with 2 feet, go ahead and pivot, and then go. But I'm old school.
You block it if you do that.
I definitely
you
like
would
that.
block it.
Yeah, but obviously it's the way how he plays. I hope that he, like I said, I hope that he can come back from this, you know, and have a healthy career, long, healthy career. But this doesn't bode well for the type of style that he plays. And as you get older, obviously things get a lot harder to be able to come back from. So hopefully he's still in his prime, he can bounce back.
He's a fast twitch muscle guy, up and down, fast. And as I said before, it's just wear and tear. It's just wear and tear. And when you get in those situations where you have injuries and the engine light comes on, you have to pay attention. You can't keep driving. Right? It's on for a reason. And unfortunately, he was, you know, they always say, hey, the brake light's on and you drive and you keep driving. I'm going to try to get one more day. And all of a sudden, it's the wrong day. Yeah. So the thing is, and unfortunately, it's Game 7. If this was like Game 3, he would probably sit out a game if it happened. But Game 7, how can you sit out? So it's just a tough situation. And look at the game right now. These guys are playing inspired basketball, and this is sports, how it works. I don't know how it's going to end, but you said if they win this game without him, oh my goodness.
It'll be one of the greatest stories of all time in NBA Finals history. There's no question about it. We will see how it plays out. Just about to hit halftime, and the Indiana Pacers have the lead momentarily. And look, we've seen this before. 2 times this postseason, Achilles injuries. Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum. As you take a look at the notable injuries this postseason here in 2025, and Tyrese Haliburton, the latest, as he suffers a lower right leg injury in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We will have halftime coverage coming up here on CBS Sports HQ.
Tough finish by Hartenstein right there.
Top issue.